Hi everybody, I'm Zach and I like movies, and I'm here to finally give a review for Hundreds of Beavers. This is an indie movie from director Mike Chelsik, who he and his lead actor Ryland Brickson Tews has been really touring this around multiple film festivals for like 2 years, Roadhouse movie style, and only recently have managed to find any sense of distribution and get a lot of hype for it. And it's well-deserved hype. You may have already seen some reviews for this. You've seen some clips probably, and boy, wow, this movie is really something special. I would honestly be shocked if a movie comes out this year that is as good as, or even half as funny as Hundreds of Beavers. This movie is incredible. This is a like instant classic. Like right, you can really tell right off the making. So Hundreds of Beavers is about a drunken Applejack salesman named John Kayak of Acme Applejack Company, and who unfortunately has his entire Applejack orchard destroyed, and he has to become a fur trapper in order to survive the winter and face off against the hundreds of beavers, possibly thousands. And the beavers here are represented as a bunch of guys in these adorable mascot costumes of beavers. Like they're not exactly fursuits, but they're kind of getting there. You also have like every animal's like this. It's not just the beavers. You got like raccoons, you got skunks, you got you got rabbits, you got wolves, and all these animals. And the entire movie is portrayed in this phenomenally detailed and lovingly crafted pastiche of silent film era slapstick comedy. You know, like some of the great stuff, like the Buster Keatons, the Charlie Chaplins, and Harold Lloyds. But a lot of it also is really taking in like a lot of the golden era of cartoons. Like there is a lot of Chuck Jones in this, in terms of like the timing of the jokes, the plethora of jokes, and how each joke just like continuously builds and carries through the story. And wow, this is just I don't even, I hardly know where to start, or even if I can like even describe what all the variety of gags that happen in this movie in a review format like this. You kind of just do need to see it for yourself, because it's just, I'm so blown away by how well this is put together, because like it's clearly like, it looks like it's a movie made with a budget of like $20, but man, it is $20 well spent, and well budgeted too, because what this entire movie does look cheap, but the cheapness of it never feels like a limitation. It just feels like there's so much more ingenuity to come up with how they present each gag and present each like shot. Like the storyboarding for this movie had to have been insane, frankly. And something that happens early on is that, you know, oh, he's freezing, he's starving, so he has to like and he figure out like, well, how to capture these like costumed animals, and that like, you know, oh, he's like so starving that he's seen all these animals as like food and stuff, and he gets into these like various Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner set pieces where he like tries and fails to capture all these animals. And this poor guy is like just one of the most put upon guys I've seen in a long time. This guy is just taking L after L after L, and just, man, like but what's so fun about seeing this guy just try and fail constantly is that one, the lead actor is fantastic. Again, his name is four names. Ryland Brickson Tews is his name. He is so great in this. He really nails that, like, the physicality of the like silent era action hero style that they're emulating, like not just in like the various amounts of like stunt work that has to be doing, and like the gags and stuff, but also like just the general like a physical movement of his body, like like even like the occasional time where they're like he'll like he'll like kind of say something or make a noise. Like he'll like there's a moment where he like gets flung through the air, and he has just this kind of perfect ha ha. It's just easy killing, easy, just knocks me dead just thinking about it. But also on top of just his great performance here, this movie has an incredible sense of escalation, both in how wide the scope gets with like how like vast the like animal wilderness and the shenanigans that happens with the beavers, because the beavers, they matter. And but also how our hero gets better at trapping these animals. Like he progresses. He starts to where he can't even like capture one because he's doing these like stupid tricks, like luring a rabbit using like a lady snow bunny, a lady snow bunny with boobs as a trap. Just classic Bugs Bunny move right there. But then as the movie goes on, he's like building these elaborate Rube Goldberg type contraptions that serial murder all of these animals. And every time one of these animals is killed, they're like mascot head eyes. They get replaced with X's. And there's a lot of focus on how he's figuring out how these traps work, and how like to navigate this like weird slapstick world, because like there's and how each piece of the animal hierarchy leads into the next, like which one's types of poop attracts another. Like this, like I get the frog to attract the skunk, the skunk attracts the raccoon. The raccoon might eat the rabbit. Or the wolf might eat the rabbit. It's so on. But it actually builds on this very retro video game logic in how it like builds out, and how it's even like where places are. Like he eventually gets a map that he like he like writes down little markers, and then like as he's traveling between the markers in the forest, it animates him like this little 8-bit figure of him just like traveling across the map, like these little like beady and he even comes across a merchant that has like these. It's this tiered shop system where each box represents what he'll get in return for each animal to kill. Like you kill one raccoon, you get like a knife, and three beavers, you get like a rope, and like so on. Every time he kills one, it gets added to his inventory with like this very much like Scott Pilgrim, where like there'll be like this little digital count, this animated little counter on a screen that like shows how his kill count and how many dead animals he has in his inventory. And every time he gets a new item, it just opens the door for new gags. And oh man, I would literally be here all day if I could try to recount all the gags that happen. I didn't want to review this quite so soon. I wanted to make sure I saw this and had the chance to see this at least twice. And even with just 2 watches in, this movie it's really dense in terms of like all the jokes you can see, and just in like not just in like the staging of like the trappers like various traps, but also like the detail of the back of the ones in the background. Like even if he's like when he's like traveling between each marker on his map, he would like see like the beavers like getting way more elaborate with their dam that just like builds higher and higher, and there's like even the like music cues where you like start suspecting that there might be a conspiracy with the beavers, or the lighting here too is for again it's as limited as what's happening. There's a lot of expressionist camera angles and lighting. Like there's a but in terms of like the gags, like one of my favorite one of my favorite gags. There's a multitude of running gags here that I really can't go away. That where like when he meets like a more experienced fur trapper that he kind of like learns from, and then even has this very Buster Keaton style romance with this cute the daughter of this merchant who she's really cute. She's always like playfully trying to mess with him to the point that she's like pulls out her like starts pulling off her 1910s like winter coat to like do like this like strip tease behind the wall where her father can't see, but she's like clearly goading him, and like this stripper pole comes out from nowhere. It's a lot of like just cartoon logic going on, and a lot of the physicality that keeps happening. And again, Cold Tews is really good here, especially with like moments where he'll just straight up just run up and tackle one of these beavers. and then he'll get bonked to the head, and then like the beavers will just like start kicking him while he's down. But in terms of literally pulling jackass style stunt work with how they keep building higher and higher. But one of my favorite gags that they keep coming back to is as he's like getting better and better at trapping all of these beavers and all of these animals, they keep cutting back to these beavers again, still in these mascot costumes, but they're dressed like Sherlock Holmes and Watson. And eventually they capture him and bring him to the beaver den, and he's brought into the beaver den to be put on trial, which like all of these beavers, all of these fursuit, all of these mascot beavers, and like you have Beaver Sherlock and Beaver Watson, like that's just funny on its face. And they make a big case made against him, and you see how every scene, every piece of build-up that has happened between every contraption and every successive win that he has gotten for himself has look what his heroic progression looks like to these beavers, because to them it's just the point of view. He's just massacring all of these beavers, and like even they're all horrified. Even one just like turns around and like vomits, and in the trial, what's fun, they have this like, it's very much it's kind of the beavers never talk, but they have this kind of like a Peanuts style of like, you know, how they don't talk, but they make a high pitched noise and something like that. Where like but through the physical acting and the rhythm of the noises that the beavers are making, you can read that the prosecutor in the trial is like this Southern country lawyer that is like making this big excorporation of our hero, like and then you just looks over at his defense attorney, who's sweating bullets. He's like he's just like hunched over. He's like his tie is loose. He's fumbling with the pages, like, and I kept expecting the image of the beavers to stop being funny, and it never does, because this movie keeps finding ways to be funny and keep adding. It's like a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat, and it like keeps stacking on the hats until it makes one great big hat. And if you're not into like what the hat is, then I mean, it might win you over in a few gags, but because like this movie has so much, really just through the amount of gags and jokes that it has in it, this will probably win you over at least a little bit. But like, man, could not believe what I was watching. I was just in so much awe of all of the effort, the clear effort and passion on display, and the clear love of the style of the silent film era joy and hilarity. And the filmmaking was beautiful in its limitations, and also the editing here. The editing is so sharp. Or like one of the, like, they would, like, not just in like how we would like how not only just how well paced this movie is. Like this movie easily could have worked so great as like a 30-minute short, but this movie is like almost an hour and 50 minutes long, and it never loses energy. It never gets tiring. It never feels like it's repeating itself too much, unless it's like adding on with the gag, keep building the gag. But like one of my favorite aspects of the editing is like a body will get thrown, where like an animal will get thrown, and it will be a body in a suit, and then it like hits a tree or something, and then it will cut, and it will just be, and it will just like be like just the suit just ragdolling, wrapping around the tree, and like as if all of its bones just got totally obliterated. And it will happen with our hero too, where like he made himself a raccoon fursuit, dude, and he'll like get smashed against the wall and just like completely and just ragdoll, like he got absolutely mangled, and then he'll just like cut back up and like give a good stretch and like just move on. But man, it never always got a laugh out of me, and man, it's the kind of thing where it is very much like that style of silent film era physicality. There's a real tangibility to it. It's like, yes, you can see the trick, but the trick is so funny you don't really mind. It's using these old school editing tricks that and it's creating something very tangible, because the whole entire entire movie was, it really feels like a step up from like what Sin City was doing. Like it was all shot on DSLR camera and constructed in post using After Effects, and they had animation, and they had like a ton of puppet work too, and it's just so incredible. This movie is a real testament to what you can do through like micro budgeting, DIY filmmaking. It's just filling to bursting your movie with detail. Like again, I couldn't even count all the gags. I was mostly because I was just there are parts of this movie I was howling. Like I was laughing so hard I could not get the air back in my lungs to keep laughing. That is how much I laughed, and oh my god. I really wish I could have seen this with a crowd, because this really needs to be enjoyed with a bunch of friends, whether they're drunk or not. But this can be fully enjoyed in a real great big setting. Please, you have to see this movie. See it immediately. I'm putting in the books. This will go down in the pantheon of the greatest comedies, not just of the decade, but of all time. All time. I'm calling it. Because, God, just through sheer gut-busting levels of joy I got out of this alone, it deserves that. Absolutely. This is an absolutely incredible movie, incredibly funny movie, and God, just think what these guys can do with like $2 million. This movie was made, not for $20 in a dream, but for like it's something akin to like $150,000. Like, wow, like it felt like it did remind me of like seeing what the Daniels did, not just with from like going from like their music videos to like what they did with Everything Everywhere All at Once. And between those guys and the likes of Jim Cummings with his like Thunder Road and Wolf of Snow Hollow. Oh man, like the future of independent filmmaking is looking brighter and brighter, and this movie is incredible. This deserves nothing less than a strong 9, possibly even a 10, because oh wow, this is so good. So yes, please watch 100 Beavers, watch hundreds of Beavers. There's more than 100 Beavers. I'm counting. But yeah, it is available to rent or buy on Amazon and Apple TV right now. I hear that they're working on a Blu-ray. Hopefully that can come out hopefully sooner than later, because I really need to own this. I want to give these. I really want to support these guys as much as I can, because wow, this was something else. And so that's my review. Again, really wish I really wish I did this much earlier, but hey, better late than never. So yeah, I'm Zach. I like movies. I have a whole lot of other movies to watch, and I hope you watch them too. And make sure one of them is hundreds of Beavers. And I will see you later. See you later.